Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out here today. If you could make your way to the seats here in the auditorium and make your way toward the middle of the seating area, that would be great. We'll be starting in just about 8 minutes or so. So continue to make your seats. That would be great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start in a couple of minutes. If everyone that's standing could make their way to the seats and be about ready to get started once everyone's seated. Thanks. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to all of those here at NOAC Auditorium, and also, as we like to say, Army fans throughout the Hudson Valley, across the nation, and around the world watching via our web stream. Such an exciting day here today. It's a day where we continue the tremendous history of Army West Point athletics and chart a path to the future. Just to go over the schedule for today's event, we'll hear from General Williams and Mr. Buddie. Then we'll take some questions from the assembled media and then have some photo opportunities when they're finished. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome the 60th Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, Lieutenant General Darryl Williams.
You know I'm going to ask, how you doing this morning? All right. Good morning. Our mission at the United States Military Academy is to educate, train, and inspire leaders of character for the United States Army who are ready to lead, fight, and win our nation's conflicts. Since General Douglas MacArthur made participation in athletics mandatory when he was superintendent, here more than a century ago, requiring that every cadet also be an athlete, our athletics program has been an important part of the cadet leader development experience here. In addition to developing cadets physically, athletics helps develop those important qualities to effectively lead and thrive in the crucible of ground combat. Qualities like grit, determination, overcoming adversity, mental and physical toughness, discipline, the continual pursuit of excellence, and the will to win. As General MacArthur once said, upon the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that on other days, on other fields, will bear the fruits of victory. Words that have been ingrained into the DNA of West Point. Pursuing excellence and winning are part of our culture here at West Point, and that's been evident in our athletics program, which has enjoyed tremendous success over the past several seasons. Today, I'm very proud to announce that we're welcoming an essential member to the West Point team, Mr. Mike Buddie. Let's give him another round of applause. With the selection of Mike as our new athletics director, we are confident that the culture of excellence and winning will continue. Mike was selected from an extremely talented pool of applicants from an outstanding NCAA programs nationwide. The Army West Point Athletics Association, supported by a nationally recognized search firm, conducted a very thorough and deliberate search and selection process. Mike stood out from the field of applicants for his leadership abilities, work ethic, and track record of success. But more importantly, for his character, his appreciation for West Point's mission and purpose, and for the commitment to our Army and our nation's values. Mike is a proven winner and leader of character who's dedicated to supporting the development of our cadet athletes. He will continue and strengthen our culture of winning and excellence and lead our athletics program to even greater success on the fields of friendly strife. Mike, Tracy, Zach, Zoe are all welcome additions to the Army family at West Point, and we are all excited to have them as part of our team. With that, I'm pleased to introduce our new Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Mr. Mike Buddie.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you all for being here this morning. I stand before you today extremely humbled, a little bit of nervous energy, a lot of things swimming through my head. But first and foremost, obviously, you don't get the opportunity to be in a room like this, accepting an opportunity like this, without a lot of help. And so I'd like to thank some people. Obviously, I've been thanking people privately by text and Twitter and email for the last 48 hours. But first and foremost, General Williams, I'm humbled. Thank you for your trust in me to take over this opportunity. I'm thrilled to be here. To Corky Messner, the entire search committee that ran an incredibly welcoming search process from start to finish, thank you very much for this opportunity as well. Certainly want to thank Ron Wellman, who was a professional mentor of mine for nearly 15 years. He taught me everything I know about leadership and leading with humility and integrity and character. And so he just finished up an incredible 27-year run as the athletics director at Wake Forest University, which happens to be my alma mater as well, but would not be here today without Ron's guidance as well. So a big thank you to him. And ironically, the reason that I'm here is I put my faith in 18 to 22-year-old young people, and the student athletes at Furman University rose to the challenge. They supported me. They provided me the drive to do what I did, but obviously they made me look good, and that's important. So the student athletes, faculty, staff at Furman University, I'll forever be grateful. Certainly President Elizabeth Davis, who gave me my first opportunity to lead a Division I college athletics department. I'll be forever grateful to her for that opportunity as well. And then on the personal standpoint, my parents, my two big brothers, who instilled in me at an early age the importance of the balance between academic excellence, competitive spirit, athletic achievement, that really shaped the foundation for this career path that I've been on, and I would not be here without them. Basically, they beat the tar out of me for the first 10 years of my life and taught me I better learn how to be competitive, or I'm never going to get the extra brownie at the end of dinner. And then finally, as the soup pointed out, my family, who have had a whirlwind of 48 hours. I've been involved in searches before, and none of them ended up at the Pentagon for the final stage. But I'm very blessed that they were able to come along with us, and we've been treated phenomenally well by every person that we've come in contact with. So Tracy and I have been married for 23 years. Zach is my 18-year-old. He's just finished his freshman year at Furman University. And our daughter Zoe is a 15-year-old who just wrapped up her 9th grade freshman year of high school. So we're soliciting advice on local schools and can't wait to get started. So when Todd Turner called me, and I appreciate Todd even including me in the pool of candidates, but he called me and said, "What do you think about West Point?" And I knew what the general public knows, which is unbelievable, honorable institution, the best of the best, leadership surrounded by the best leaders and thinkers in our country. And so I started digging in, and as an athletics director, you also want to know, well, what's the indoor facility look like, and who's on the football schedule? And so I started doing my research and checking boxes, and every box of a concern I was checking quickly. One of the biggest things for me is I want to be associated with institutes that have great identity, that know who they are. And I don't think there's an academy in the country, or the world for that matter, who understands who we are better than West Point. So by the end of that quick little Google search that I spent a weekend doing, I shifted my thinking from, do I want to pursue this job, to how in the world am I going to position myself so that they're actually interested in me? Because I'll state the obvious. I'm not a military guy. I did not grow up in a military family. I cannot imagine. I knew when I was 18 I was not tough enough or disciplined enough to represent our country as a soldier. I can never fully understand what it feels like to put yourself in harm's way, to train every day to defend this country, and also train every day to try to be competitive at the Division I level. Fortunately, what I do understand is how to lead a team, how to get consensus and pull everybody in the same way, how to motivate and communicate and inspire young people and coaches to do their best every day within the confines of what is truly important in duty and honor and country. And so I'm very fortunate that I'm surrounded by people who get the military part. My job is to win, and to do so in a way that will make all of the Army community across the planet extremely proud. I feel extremely blessed. I've never met Boo Corrigan, but I've got to admit he has done a phenomenal job. I am getting handed the keys to a car that's running extremely well, and for that I'm extremely thankful. But I also have a minor league baseball mentality. My background is as a baseball player. And I wake up every day with a relentless focus on how can I move the needle a little bit. So as successful as this program has been, I'm not here to coast. I want to continue to elevate our program. So I am thrilled again for this opportunity. I take it extremely seriously, but I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be a part of this community, and I want to say, beat Navy.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, General Williams. At this time, we're going to take some questions. We have some wireless microphones. Please wait for the microphone to come your way. State your name and media affiliation before your question. Let's start. Justin.
Yes, Justin Fedich with the Times-Herald-Record. Mike, a question for you. I know a lot of people know that you pitched for the Yankees back in the day. You were drafted by them as well. Is there anything that you take away from that experience that you think will help you in this position?
Yes, thanks, Justin. Of course. I mean, getting a chance to play professional baseball for 13 years has shaped who I am as a person. Great leadership lessons. I've played for coaches and managers who are phenomenal leaders who motivated me to go out and become the best that I can be. And I've also had a chance to play for coaches who are the opposite. Those people have a negative impact on student athletes' lives as well. And so at the professional level, I'm getting paid to do it. I'll tell you, one of the most valuable lessons that I learned as I transitioned from being a professional baseball player into representing first Wake Forest, then Furman, and certainly now West Point. A veteran baseball player who had been I think he was in his 17th season, who was on that 1998 Yankee team, pulled me aside my first week in New York and said, listen, here's something I wish somebody would have told me. Every day when you wake up, pretend that there is a documentary film crew following you around from sun up to sundown. And if there was a decision that you would do differently if that were the case, then don't make that decision. Every decision that I make reflects on the Army community. And so having played under the spotlight of the New York Yankees, and I need to mention, I pitched for the Brewers too. I went from the best team to the worst team, like in a week. But so yeah, all of those experiences have shaped my character and who I am today.
Matt in the back.
Hey, Matt McNamara, Spectrum News. Obviously, as you talked about before, this is your second time as an AD in a new school. What were the things from your time at Furman that you learned, maybe mistakes or things you could have done better that you want to apply to Army?
There were no mistakes, Matt. Thank you. Specific leadership things, leading searches. You know, you've got to lead a couple searches on your own. I like to say I learned that through my first search at Furman that you want to provide people a voice but not necessarily a vote. And then certainly making time, carving out time for two things in my calendar that I think are extremely important. One is mark out time of the day to exercise. This is a job where you can always justify taking the lunch meeting and working until you're going to burn out. So I like to physically exercise, unplug, stay fit, visit our student athletes or cadet athletes during that time. And then I also make sure that I block off time every day to send 15 to 20 thank you texts. I mean, it's a text message, it's a handwritten note, it's an email. I've gotten some of these from people who I haven't seen in 5-10 years, but your network and your scope of contacts across the country are extremely important in my job when it comes to bowl games and coaching searches and all those things. So that's one of those things that I just kind of learned as I went along, that you can't lose touch with people who can put you in a position to help your institution. So those would be two things.
Time for one more. Ken?
Ken Kreitzer, American Legion Radio, Rally Point, and WVOX. Welcome. You mentioned in your bio a number of fundraising successes, and both at Wake Forest, at Furman. Obviously, that's a key to the game for bringing facilities to a college campus. What is it that helps attract fundraising to raise the capital to run an athletic program?
Great question, Ken. So facilities are the lifeblood. I've never believed that buildings win games, but when you're recruiting against the best of the best, little things can sometimes make a difference. I don't have my fundraising approach is create a compelling vision and make sure that you communicate that compelling vision to the right people at the right time and be completely authentic. I think a lot of times you kind of can go into used car salesman mode, but again, at the core of what we do, we're not upgrading facilities for me. We're doing it for these young kids. We've got to make sure that they have the facilities to stay competitive. We all want to beat Navy.
We're doing it very, very well right now, but to keep doing that, we just got to have a continual effort to improve. Like I said, just a culture of constant improvement is like how I refer to it, not only with people, but also facilities.
Thanks. And we're going to go back to Justin for one more.
And then just for Lieutenant General Williams, is there something that Mike said throughout the interview process that helped you make the decision over all the other candidates that you had?
Yeah, what was very clear from the very start from all the candidates, we had a very high list of quality of applicants, but Mike was a standard deviation higher than all of them. It was clear from the very start. So his focus on winning, and then more importantly, winning the right way, the kind of character, as you can see by listening to him talk, it was very clear. And it wasn't just me, it was all the board members who helped me get after this as well. So winning, but winning the right way with character.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you, everyone, for coming out here today on what's a great day for Army West Point Athletics. Congrats and welcome again, Mike and the Buddie family. Looking forward to having you here at West Point. Thanks again for coming out. Go Army, beat Navy.
Whoa.